Welcome to VRC 1000. This is lesson number 4 or module number 6, paragraph jumble number 1. We looked at paragraph summary. And what we essentially realize in paragraph summary, it is reading comprehension on steroids, in the sense that you've got one paragraph, but then you have to figure out the summary of that just one paragraph, and they do all the question setter will do all sort of traps to trap us, but eventually we know that all the traps will have the same beast. That's it. You just have to be careful not to be lazy, and you can nail paragraph summary. But when it comes to paragraph jumble, the story is slightly different, because you are given these 4 sentences and have to arrange these 4 sentences. Yes, understanding the controlling idea will help by understanding what the passage is about, but we need to have a little more understanding. For that, the cohesion tools or techniques that are used by the author can help. We said there is going to be repetition, either by way of echo. There could be clear echo, I hope you remember this, or there could even be feeble echoes. And there is a straight replacement of nouns into pronouns, and there is 2 kind of pronouns: demonstrative pronouns. This, these are very useful. And a lot of conversation we keep using this word this, these more often than he, she, they. This is going to be useful. And if there is a signal, it's fantastic. If I see a signal is clear idea as to what the author is trying to do. Author wants to make a contrast, author wants to give an example, author wants to add on to something. So these are the things that I'm going to use. And in coherence, we in one of the lessons in the last module, we talked about the fact that there could be a lot of different sequencing that is possible. Concept elaboration, general example. We don't want to remember all these things, and there could even be a combination of this, combination of stuff, right? For example, definition is given, an explanation is made of the definition, then the generalization of that definition is made, and then an example is given. It could be a combination of lot many things. We don't want to remember all these. What the question that we would ask is idea zooming in or zooming out, and we found that zooming in is more common. What is zooming in? Moving from a broad idea to something that is narrow, or moving from something that is same thing as moving from general to specific. Correct? Okay. Now, we need to have a simple plan of action to deal with paragraph jumble question. Nothing complicated, something that works every single time. Okay. Now, we have got these 4 sentences that we have to arrange them in sequence, in this order. Correct sequence. What will be there in every single paragraph, right? There will be a start. There is something that starts a conversation. Now, these paragraphs are sourced by the question setter from a larger article, but when they source it, they have to edit it, change it in such a manner that this paragraph in itself complete, which means the paragraph will have a start. Identifying a start is going to be absolutely crucial, because once you identify the start, it's not 1/4 the problem is solved. Initially, there were 4 factorial ways of arranging it, that is 24 different ways. Now it's suddenly 3 factorial ways, which is 6 ways. That's it. The difference is huge. Identifying the start is a huge. Don't try and identify the end, right? But it's not necessary that something will have a solid end. Okay, I don't know whether there'll be end. Possible, but not necessary. What is, when I say end is the paragraph can end in whichever manner. Okay, it is not necessary the last sentence must be a conclusion of everything that has happened so far. It should be a summary, but not needed. Okay, but there will be a solid start, and that start is what we're gonna find out. Another thing that I told you are these blocks. Sentences are connected in such a manner that no other sentence can get in between. The way in which this paragraph is written, to form the kind of coherence, it is necessary that you will find that it has to be there. 99.9999% of the cases, there will be blocks. Once you get blocks, many of the problem is solved. These blocks we are getting by basis of all these cohesion ideas, echo words. It could be signals, it could be pronouns. Using this, we will get the block. I'm not saying that every time there's an echo, there's an automatic block. That's not what I'm saying. But we have to analyze it. We have to. Okay. Now, let's look at the question which you have solved. If you want to pause the video once again, you can do that and solve it, resolve it once again. Now, one thing that you notice is that you have this question on the screen. Here, obviously, when I'm taking this lesson, I'm underlining stuff and all. But this is what happened in the examination hall. I told you reading comprehension to take the note or read it in your head. Paragraphs, summary, take the note or read it in the head. What do we do here? Should I put finger here? I think that's what normally you can just look at this. Okay, I can see the change. I can see the change. I can see these connections. Okay, I can get this. But you have to write something down. So what I would do is I will probably write this 4 dashes. Just to say that, just to put a start somewhere. I just want to write it. Okay, let me actually put the start, and I even probably put these numbers, so that if I see a block somewhere, okay, I can see, or I can see, okay, 2, 3 is a block. I can see a block. I will probably note all these downs. Okay, okay, I can see a connection that 1, 3, then 1, or whatever. Okay, you can your notes. These are your notes. You make it your own. But do something, whatever you do it consistently every single time. Okay, so let's start solving this. Okay, I'm going to draw 4. I would be interested in definitely finding the star. What I would want to do is read the sentences one by one. When I read each sentence, I will chunk and read. I'll understand what the sentence is telling me, right? I'll make a case, make a sort of an idea in terms of what the sentence is trying to do, and then as I keep on reading, I'll get a lot of clues, right? So, what could be the sentence that is a start? A sentence that is a start is a sentence that essentially does not need any support. Does not need support. You cannot have a sentence that needs support from somewhere else, right? You cannot have a sentence which says however, and then that cannot be the start, at least for paragraphs jumble question wherein there is a type in the answer type of question. But it's not necessary that every sentence that does not need support is automatically a start. That is not the case. Okay, alright. I'll explain. Let's start doing. Okay, sentence number 1. People with dyslexia have difficulty with print reading, and people with autism spectrum disorder have difficulty with mind reading. Okay. Okay, one thing that I see is here you've got terms that is thrown at as dyslexia, print reading, autism spectrum disorder, mind reading. I'm sure that some of things have to echo. I don't know what is going to echo. This at this point in time, I cannot eliminate the sentence that I cannot say that this one cannot be the start, one can be the start. I have no idea. Okay, this is a looks like independent sentence. I don't know what. I'll have to read more sentences to figure out what is the role of sentence number 1. Okay. An example of a lost cognitive instinct is mind reading, our capacity to think of ourselves and others as having beliefs, desires, thoughts, and feelings. Oh, one is something is mind reading, which means this is where mind reading is getting introduced, and that is absolutely clear as to why this is where mind reading is introduced, because a particular definition is also given. So we've seen this, we've seen this. Definition and then explanation. Very good, right? So definition is given. So this is where the mind reading. I also notice that the mind reading is what is echoing. This is a clear echo, and sentence number 2 is where the discussion is going to is starting, right? Which means I don't know whether 2 and 1 is going to be a block. That I'm not too sure. There is nothing that suggests that these are already blocked, because you're already talking about print reading, a lot of other things. But what I know for sure, that 1 has to come somewhere later than 2, or somewhere later than 2, or I can safely say that 1 is definitely not going to be the start. Okay, that I'm sure of. That at least I'm sure of, because 1 cannot come before 2. 2 is where mind reading got introduced. Let's look at the third sentence. Mind reading looks increasingly, this sentence is dedicated to our mind reading fellow. Mind reading looks increasingly like literacy, a skill we like for sure, is not in our genes, since script have been around for only 5,000 to 6,000 years. Again, what does it tell me? This clearly tells me that 3 cannot be the start, because sentence number 2 is where the mind reading got introduced, and this sentence number 3 is 1, 2, 3. Sentence number 3 is dedicated for mind reading. Sentence number 1 is where the mind reading started. Correct. So I know that sentence number 3 cannot be the start. Print reading like mind reading. Oh, here is where our next echo, clear echo about print reading, which is here. But this is where the print reading is getting introduced. So what is absolutely certain, the conversation has to start with two. Okay, before you get to print reading, right? Before you go to print reading, so this sentence number 4 is moving to print reading, and you need to talk about mind reading. Give me some more explanation. Okay. Now I cannot have sentence number 1 before sentence number 4 because I know for sure sentence number 4 is where print reading conversation started. So it has to go to 4 and then end with 1. Finished. Printing like mind reading varies across cultures depending on heavily on certain part of brain and is subject to development disorder. And then people with dyslexia with difficulties. All that we handle here is simply by echo words. And clear echoes. All we needed is to see mind reading and to see print reading. All we needed is, look at this, it started with an example defining. So this defines mind reading as an example of a lost cognitive instinct. An example of a lost cognitive instinct. Obviously, there could be some conversation that was happening before here about lost cognitive instinct. Okay, so this is where it's defining. Mind reading looks increasing like literacy, a skill that we know some feature of mind reading is mentioned. Again, we have got mind reading. Now a new kind of reading is introduced, print reading, and that is like mind reading. Varies across culture depending heavily on certain parts of brain and subject to development disorder. And then talks about a sentence. Now we have introduced what is print reading. And then it talks about a sentence which has got what sort of relationship. People with dyslexia has got difficulty with print reading. Autism has difference with mind reading. Look at the color. Right. Red. Blue got introduced by comparing to the red. And blue and red are now together again. Makes sense. Yeah. So when you're reading it, look for this. Subject, verb, object. Remember, in which module was it? Module number 2. Subject and object. The verb. Something is going to echo. They will echo. An echo will help. Do you want to pause this and try it once again? I think you want to do. See any other signal. See something you can see. Okay, let's see. Okay. If you have seen a little line on text on website that says something like customers who bought this also enjoyed that, you have experienced this collaborative filtering firsthand. This collaborative filtering. Okay, so which means this definitely needs support. One cannot be the start for sure. And this is this. That. This is a near support. Whenever you have a this, my mind is going, oh, I'm going to get a block. I'm definitely going to get a block. Something has to connect to 1. We have got a 1 here. We need something. So we are looking at collaborative filtering. Okay, if I see the word collaborative filtering, I'm going to attach this to the sentence. Okay. The problem with these, we've got it. With these what? These algorithms, we have got collaborative filtering. So these are called colors that is happening in my head. Okay, when I'm putting the color here, not that in the examination I can put this color, but I can see this. If the conversation cannot stop it to these. Which algorithm? I want to see algorithm. Problem with these algorithms is that they don't take into account a host of nuances and circumstances that there may be interference in this. So now you're saying the problem. Author is now saying the tone has changed. First of all, you have experience. I think the tone has changed. Tone has changed. If you just brought a gardening book for your cousin, you might get a flurry of lines to book about gardening recommending just for you. If you bought a gardening book from your cousin, you might get a flurry of links to books about gardening recommended just for you. The algorithm has no way of knowing you hate gardening or only bought the book as a gift. By the way, this, what do you think? It's an example, right? Or did you identify this is an example? It's talking about a particular situation. Okay, a book. If you get something, it's an example. They should have added the word for example. Collaborative filtering. Thank you so much. I know 4 is a start. 4 is definitely a start. Collaborative filtering is a mathematical algorithm by which correlation and co-occurrences of behaviors are tracked and then used to make recommendation. Chuback, it has to go to 1. 4 1 is a definite block. And you might have a problem connecting 2 and 3. But what you need to do is, okay, so now what is the purpose of sentence number 2? Ask yourself. The purpose of sentence number 2 is to state that there is a problem. The problem is the subject is the problem. Right? This is a subject. The problem with these algorithms is that they don't take into account host of nuanced circumstances that might interfere with their accuracy. And you have given example of this particular problem. Right? This is 4 1 2 3. And when you look at these algorithms, what is it? How to look at these algorithms? Where is this connection going? 4 1 is already become a block. And what is collaborative filtering? That is a mathematical algorithm. So this collaborative filtering is a mathematical algorithm. So therefore these algorithm, which is this collaborative filtering, that is echo, by the way. It's a feeble echo. This is going to 2 and then explanation is given as 3. Okay. So here, clear that this 4 just stands out as a start here. Okay, because why does 4 stands out as a start? Because you see this word, you see these algorithms and the algorithm, reference some algorithm plus an example that is given. This is the broadest statement among all. This is much more specific, so you can get the 4, and then this collaborating filtering first hand. Example, what is collaborative filtering? Kind of definition, right? Again, we are seeing this definition, something that is defining it. What is, or explaining it, defining. Collaborative filtering, mathematical algorithm by which correlation, co-occurrence are tracked, and then used to make a recommendation. First, something is tracked, a recommendation is given. Okay, you're talking about, you would have seen this. If you have seen a little line, or customers who bought this also enjoy that. Okay, and understand this. So 4 1 put together is explaining what a collaborative filtering is. Now where is the author going? Structure. Okay, once you understand X, let me tell you the problem of X. Identifying a problem. The problem with these algorithms is that they don't take into account a host of nuances. Then it goes to 3. If for some reason, first of all, I'm guessing that you would have got 4 1 block. If you missed it, I can't help it. If you're looking at 3 and 2, let's look at, for some reason, if you made this doesn't make any sense. You are given an example of a problem, then stating that there is a problem. How is it possible? You know what? The last line, the second paragraph usually tends to be tough, and people sometimes they lose track of it. That's what happens to many students. The problem with CAD is that people lose track. It doesn't make any sense. State the problem, then give an example. You have to look at sentences which are examples. And you have to look at, okay, this is an example of what? This is an example of a particular problem. The question setter should, if there was, for instance, an implied, if the word for instance would have been there, you would have got this, right? You would have got this, but it's not there, so this is not the case. 4 1 2 3 would be the answer. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Let's look at the third question here. Okay, 1 2 3 4. To the uninitiated listener, atonal music can sound like chaotic, random noise. Okay, so this is the to whom? To them. What? Atonal music can sound very chaotic. Okay. The hero of the sentence is the uninitiated listener. They don't know what atonal music is. Atonality is a condition of music. Definition is happening. We like definition. Is a condition of music in which the construct of music do not live with the confines of particular key signature, scale or mod. I'm almost guessing very likely candidate. First of all, atonality is explained here. Then atonal music. So 1 cannot be the start. 2 is likely going to be the hero. After you realize the amount of knowledge, skill and technical expertise required to compose and perform it, Your tune might change, may change, so to speak. Count the three cannot be the start, and then we see the word. However, no, for sure, two has to be the start now. If there is a however, okay, please understand this very, very simple concept. Okay, I have used the word however or but and then talked something negative in one particular sentence, which means prior to that, what should be there? There should be positive, clean, okay, and then after this, what should be there? Once I've started on a negative journey, from positive and move to negative, I have to continue with negativity. Would you agree? Or let's put it another way. If after however, I said something positive, so prior to that, what should be there? Immediately prior to that, there should be something that is negative. But after I've said something positive, I should move on to say something positive. Clean? Simple idea. If I'm saying moreover, I'm saying that something is nice. In addition to it, I have to continue the story of nice. If something is negative and I say moreover, I have to continue the story of moreover. This is in adding on the same thing, going in the same direction, but however, change a sign. And whenever you have the word however, I'm going to use sentence number 4. I'm going to use sentence number 4. I'm going to use sentence number 4 as a block where I'm going to now put things this side. Okay, let's start. Where is the negative? Atonal music. So 1. So we have put 2, right? We have got 1 and 3. 1 is definitely saying something negative. For the initial listener, atonal music can sound like chaotic and random music. What is 4 saying? However, atonality is one of the most important movements in 20th century. This is talking something positive. Look at 3. After you realize the amount of knowledge, skill and technical expertise to compose it, your tune may change. You will change. That is saying positive. How will you add this? You cannot go put 2 and then 4. That doesn't make any sense. Atonality is something. However, it is also very good. Why would it put however? You cannot go like this. Like your tune may change, okay? You'll think it is amazing. However, it is very amazing. Doesn't make any sense. The only place to put however has to be after 1, 1 and 4. Once I placed like this, I moved from negative, talked about something that is positive. With the word however, I have to continue the positive. Where will I put 3? 3 has no place. But to come after 4, which is a positive, 2 and 4, 3 is done. I got a start. Once I got a start, I used one word here to shift things together. Look at this. Atonality is a condition of music in which the constructs of the music do not live within the confines of particular key signal states. Okay, what is definition? To the uninitiated listener, atonal music can sound like something chaotic, random music. Okay, author is now saying that you may think it is bad. However, it is amazing. See, after you listened it, you will change your tune. So this is what the definition is given, and then said you might think it is bad, but it's actually awesome because it is this. You will also change. That's it. Say. The funda is very simple. The principle has to be KISS principle. There are a lot of versions of KISS. I think it started by the US Navy back in the 1960s. They said, keep it simple, stupid. But there are a lot of versions. I thought this is the best version. So you're all my soldiers. We are going for a war against cat. We have to kill it. We are becoming the beast. We are carrying all the weapon. We have to cross it, go to the IM, make a lot of money. So keep it simple, soldier. One of the things that I keep noticing with respect to paragraph, it's jumble, and in general everything, is that we make life very complicated. Keep it very simple now. So there are these 4 sentences. There will be a solid start, and usually we'll identifying by ideas, that is zooming in. Definition, explanation, problem, solution, whatever it is, zooming in. And then we see blocks. Okay. These blocks these blocks can be identified by echo, signals or pronouns. That's it. Or in some cases, you can identify the order with one of these. With one of these. By using a signal word, however. That one sentence can help us arrange things together. That's it. Keep it simple. Nothing complicated. You will do well in paragraph jumble. I'm telling you. I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.